Hey there, you looking kinda cute. Please consider subscribing and check out our Patreon for more. Enjoy the video. Matt went to Central High School and was a junior. He was smart enough to take high-level classes. He was good at sports and played football and baseball. He was very shy, though, so he didn't get along with the girls. However, he was really interested in a girl named Tori. She was also smart and athletic and very pretty. He was impressed by how mature she was for her age. He hoped she would notice him, but that didn't happen, of course. He tried to talk to her a few times, but he always said something stupid and looked like an idiot in front of her. He tried to get her attention, but nothing worked. The school had a thing for Valentine's Day, where you could send a chocolate bunny to your honey along with a note. He sent her one with a short note, but she didn't even reply. He decided to write her a real love letter one day. He stayed up all night and went through 10 drafts before getting what he wanted. Then he mailed it. He looked up her address on the internet and drove by her house many times, hoping to catch a glimpse of her. He knew it was the right house because he knew her car, and one day when he saw her sitting in the living room, his heart jumped. Even though he had never been inside, he felt like he knew it. His note to her said, "Dear Tori, I've tried to tell you how I feel so many times and in so many ways. I'm in love with you, and you're everything to me, so I'd do anything for you. Don't be afraid. Please, I want you to know that what I feel for you is a pure love. I love you with everything I have, and all I want is to be with you. I know that deep down we are the same. I'm sure that once you know me, you'll love me as much as I love you. Matt." As he put it in the mailbox, his head started to hurt. For the next few days, while he waited for her to come to him, he was nervous. He couldn't remember whether or not he had written his phone number on the note. She was smart, though. She'd look for him. She might also talk to him at school. That would be really cool. He smiled and went to sleep, just waiting for her to call. Matt was upset because Tori didn't talk to him. To get her attention, he wrote a second, more extreme note. To him, it was a statement of love, but to someone listening from the outside, it almost sounded like, "Love me or I want to die." Tori was scared by the note, and she knew she had to take action. She already had a stable relationship with a man she loved. Matt seemed like a nice kid, but he was awkward and shy and not quite what she was looking for. She didn't have anything bad to say about him, but this note was a bit much. She could have told the principal, but she didn't because she didn't want to get him in trouble. So she came up with a new plan. It was Friday night, and Matt was at home by himself again. He turned up the volume on his stereo and listened to the newest songs. He sat in his room by himself and read a book while the music pulsed. Someone knocked on his door. Most likely it was his parents again saying that it was too loud. He opened the door with reluctance. It was his father. "Matt, a girl wants to talk to you on the phone," he said to Matt's amazement. Matt ran to turn off the music and get his dad's phone. After he said, "Thanks, Dad," he closed the door. "What's up?" He said it with worry. He didn't get a lot of calls from girls. Well, in fact, never. "Hi, Matt." The voice on the phone was Tori's, which he knew right away. He got a call from Tori. Tori? He didn't know what to say. "Yes, it's me, Matt. What's up?" She told me. That means, okay, I guess." He said it, and his voice broke. "It's okay, Matt. I can tell you're nervous. Just listen. This weekend, my parents are out of town, so I have the whole house to myself. We should talk, so why don't you come over tonight? I'll be there right away." He said this as he cut her off. He was so happy. He didn't even think to clean up or brush his hair. He just ran down the stairs, grabbed the keys to the car, and drove off to Tori's house. Matt had never felt so scared before. His heart beat very fast. He felt like he couldn't stand up. He knocked on her door even though his arm felt like it weighed 2,000 pounds. It seemed to take hours. Tori opened the door and waved him in after only 30 seconds. She had on a white blouse and a knee-length green plaid skirt. "Matt, come up here," she told him, making him look right into her eyes. He sat down on the couch because she told him to. "Listen, Matt, we need to talk," she started. "I've read what you've written. I know that you like me a lot, but you do know that I'm already seeing someone else, right? You are a very nice boy, and I like you, but I already have a boyfriend. She told me, but I love you. He spoke up quickly. You write that in your notes to me, but if you really cared about me, you would understand. He was about to cry. Please don't cry, Matt. It's not the end of the world just because I don't love you, she said with a smile. I think so, moped Matt. Tori realized that talking to Matt about his obsession would not help him get over it. She thought that being straight with him would work, but he was just too obsessed. She had another thought, which she would have to use now. It would show her that he would do anything she asked him to do. She would find out what would make him snap. You say you'd do anything for me, Matt? Anything, he said. Just tell me. I know how to check to see if that's true. We'll find out if you really love me or just want me. And we can see if you're telling the truth and if you'd do anything for me. But I am. Please let me prove it. Okay, I will. Come with me to my room. Matt made up his mind to stay strong as he went up the stairs. He did not expect her to ask him to do what she did, though. Okay, Matt. You say that if I asked you to do anything, you would do it without arguing, she said once more. Yes, he answered. He was sure that he could show her. Okay, start by taking off everything you're wearing. He got red in the face and did as told. He held his breath because he didn't know what she would do to him next. She gave him a pair of her undies. Wear them, she told me. He only thought about it for a second. Then she took one of her bras out of the closet. Also, put this on, she told him as she gave it to him. Matt's hand was shaking. I, he said. Oh, well, she said. I didn't really think you'd do anything for me. She reached out to let Matt give it back to her. No, he said. I had no intention of, how does one go on? She laughed, and then she helped him out. She had forgotten how awkward she had been when she first learned how to put the clasps in the back together. I've done this so many times that I've forgotten how hard it was the first time. She said this as she pulled the shoulder straps all the way out. There, Allison, everything is fine. What's that name? Asked Matt. What a fool you are, Tori replied with joy. Me? Asked Matt. Yes. From now on, Allison, you're my girly friend. Now tell me your name. I'm Allison, your good, girly friend. What on earth was she trying to do to him? When Matt looked in the mirror, he blushed once more. He was a boy who was dressed as a girl. He felt like a fool. But if that's what Tori wanted, then that's what he got. Name's Allison. Name's Allison. He tried to convince himself that he was a girl by thinking this. He was determined to turn out the way she wanted. Allison, you know that hair on your legs makes you look silly. Why don't you get rid of it? No problem, Tori. This won't take more than a minute. A few minutes later, his legs were indeed hairless. So much better. She said this as she gave Matt a pair of nylons. Matt put them on, but he didn't know how to do it right. Tori showed him how to roll them up so they wouldn't get too stretched out when he wore them. This time, they got there without any problems. I hate it when my hose gets a leak, Allison, don't you? Yes, so do I. Apologies for that, Matt answered. That's okay, girl. All of us girls do that sometimes. Us girls. It gave Matt chills up and down his back. Next, Tori took out a yellow dress with flowers and gave it to Allison. Allison took it and put it on. Name's Allison. I am a girl now, he kept reminding himself. Allison, you look beautiful in that. She was excited. Thank you, Tori. You have great style, Matt answered. Tori took out a pair of high-heeled shoes that her mother had worn, so, because her mom had big feet for a woman, she hoped that Matt would be able to wear them. Even though it was tight, they were able to get them on. Whenever he tried to walk in them, he had to hold Tori's hand. When he first tried roller skates, he wobbled like a little girl, but it didn't take long before he could stand up pretty well on his own. He had to move slowly and carefully like a woman, but he was getting better at it. Yes, like this. Give your hips more swing. Tori led him out of her room and down the hall to the bathroom. When Matt walked into the room, he saw all of the makeup that Tori had set out. She started putting the makeup on his face with skill. Allison, you're a little clumsy today, so I'll help you put this on, she told me. Thanks, he answered. Hold still. She worked the base coat into his skin as he agreed. She also pulled out a few stray eyebrow hairs, which made him yelp in pain. In just 15 minutes, he changed. He couldn't believe what he saw in the mirror when he looked at himself. The lips were full and puckered up. The cheekbones looked higher, and the nose looked smaller. His eyes, too. They were the perfect shape of an almond and had full lashes and eyebrows that tapered down to a line. As he gasped, she put some gel in his hair and styled it in a way that made it look more feminine. As she sprayed a nice floral perfume on him, she laughed to herself. "What do you think, Allison?" "Wow, you work wonders. How about my fingernails? Oh, I did forget. Put your hand out." Tori painted her nails pink, then added a second coat. After it was dry, she added white to the tips. The job was done with a clear coat. Allison now had pretty nails, even if they were short. They went back to Tori's room by walking down the hall. Tori took out her jewelry box. She gave him a gold necklace, 3 rings, earrings with clips, and a bracelet. When they looked in the mirror, you might think they were both girls if you didn't know better. "Name's Allison," he thought again. "I am a girl. Name's Allison." Matt was happy with his fate because Tori wanted it that way. He thought he was turning into her. "Allison, you're pretty," said Tori. "I'm jealous. Even in the morning after swim class, when you don't have any makeup on, you would look so pretty. We have a lot to do, so hurry up." Then she got in the car with Allison, and they drove to the mall. They bought a purse and a compact for Allison. As they walked around and looked at clothes, Tori told Allison what would look good on her. Both of them wished they had more money or a credit card so they could really go shopping. They drove back to Tori's house after a few hours. "How did it feel to leave the house that way?" she told me. "What are you saying?" asked Allison. "I mean, putting on a dress and makeup, looking like a girl," she answered. "But I am a girl," said Allison. "You actually think that?" asked Tori. "Yes. What you tell me I am, really? Then what did you think of that guy with the black hair that was all spiked up?" "I didn't like his outfit," said Allison. "He could have been a goth or a punk." "He was so cute, though." "He was good looking, wasn't he?" asked Tori. "Yes, and I'm sure you'd love to go out with him, wouldn't you?" "But I don't like him," Allison argued back. "Honey, you have to try one sometime." For a while, they talked about boys, relationships, and their parents until they started to get tired. The day had been long. "Why don't you take off your makeup and put on a nightgown, Allison? I have one hanging in the bathroom as a spare. We can get a good night's sleep and get up early the next morning to have a full day." Allison did what Tori asked. "Come to bed, sweetheart. I won't bite." She fell asleep while Tori said, "You're a girl," in her ear. "You're a girl. You're a girl." When Allison woke up, took a shower, and, just to be sure, shaved her armpits and legs again. She put baby powder all over herself because it smelled good, and then she put on the clothes that Tori had set out for her. It had a denim skirt and a white top with a halter neck. The outfit was complete with sandals. Tori helped Allison put on her makeup after a light breakfast. "You'll have to figure out how to do that on your own." She said it in a mean way. "Why, if I already have you?" giggled Allison. "Because you'll have to do this for the rest of your life, and I can't do it for you all the time," replied Tori. "How long will I live?" "Yes, you are a girl now and always will be Allison. You will forget Matt, and you will forget that he ever existed. Can you deal with it?" she inquired. "Who is he?" said Allison. "I know you're lying because you already know who he is, but you should forget about him because he is no longer there. You're a girl now, and you'll always be a girl." "But," began Allison. "Yes, but. You'll wear what you're wearing now to school on Monday. Then you'll go home and tell your parents that you're now Allison. You'll ask them to find a doctor who can give you female hormones because you want to become a true woman." Allison knew that Tori was trying to get her to the point where she would break. She was trying to get her to forget who she was and go back to being Matt so she could send her away. Allison didn't want that to happen. "So what do you think, Allison?" asked Tori. Allison said, "Cool. If Tori wanted her to grow up and be a real woman, she would. Anything to show her how much she means to him, cool. We'll see." They went into the kitchen where Tori opened the cabinet that held the medicine. These are the estrogen pills my mom takes. Wow, I had no idea, said Allison. Don't tell everyone. I've only told a few close girlfriends like you. My mouth is shut, Allison said with excitement. Don't put the seals on them yet. You need to take these first, Tori told Allison as she gave her a few pills and a glass of water. She didn't think Allison would actually be willing to take them. This must be enough for a week. Allison took a deep breath and then started to gulp down the pills, 4 at a time. Tori couldn't believe that Allison would really take them. She didn't think Matt would let her do everything she had done to him so far. Maybe she had made a mistake about him. Maybe he really did love her very much. But another thing was that she liked him a lot more as Allison than as Matt. Now, he was taking hormones for women. What was going to happen to his body? She decided that she would give in and go out with him if he really did it and went to school on Monday as Allison. She hung out with him for the rest of the weekend and called him Allison. Allison, on the other hand, was in heaven. She got to spend so much time with Tori, who was her idol. She wanted to dress like her, walk like her, talk like her. She wanted to learn a lot about her, and she was able to do that. It was her favorite weekend ever. She didn't want it to ever end. On Sunday morning, she took more pills from Tori's mother without telling Tori. She thought she could feel the effects on her body, but she knew it would be a long time before she saw any real changes. The girls went to a movie, hung out at the mall, took a long walk in the park, watched TV, did a seance with candles and everything, played games, and just had a great time together. Tori's parents showed up too soon on Sunday night. Her parents came inside the house and Tori introduced her new friend. "Does my friend Allison come to mind?" she said. "No, but I think you mentioned her once. She must be in your art class, right? It's actually my gym class." "Oh, yes. Right. How do you do, Allison?" "Mrs. Richards, it's nice to meet you. Tori says nice things about you all the time. This is a very nice place to live. How kind of you, Allison. Tori, why don't you bring over nice girls like this one more often? If she only knew." "Oh, Mom, you're embarrassing me," she said, as she and Allison went up the stairs. "Why don't you and I order pizza for the girls, Frank?" asked Tori's mother as he got the bags out of the car. Allison slept over for the night, and then they went to school together in the morning. Teachers and classmates were surprised when Matt turned out to be Allison, so she was sent to the counselor's office for an interview. "Hello, Mrs. Lauer," said Allison. "Matt, now, this is Allison. She made a change. Why did you wear this to school today? What are you saying? I mean, dressed up like a girl. I am a girl. How should I get dressed?" "Like a boy," said Mrs. Lauer. "A boy? What would be the point? I used to get made fun of by the other girls." "Don't the boys make fun of you for dressing like a girl? What's the point? I am a girl. Stop doing this. I'll talk to your parents. Please do so. I'm so excited for them to find out." Allison was excited. Matt's mother was called by Mrs. Lauer, who told her what was going on. She wanted to talk on the phone with her son. "Hi, Mom," said Allison. "What are you up to, Matt? Is this supposed to be funny? Who is this Matt that everyone keeps talking about?" said Allison. "I don't get it. You are definitely confused. People say you have a skirt on." "Yes, it is a nice plaid that matches my sweater. It looks really cute. You ought to—" "Please, Matt, what's the point of this? Son, do you need some help?" "I'm neither your son nor Matt," Allison said as she gave Mrs. Lauer the phone back. "I'm sorry, Amanda. He seems to think he's a girl for sure. I'll get him to talk to the psychologist, and then you can come get him." After class, Tori waited 30 minutes for Allison to meet her at her car. She was anxious. Allison wouldn't leave her like that. She might not have cared after all. Tori gave up in the end and went home on her own. Tori got another letter 2 weeks later. It said, "Dear Tori, I want to thank you first for everything you've done for me. The time we spent together over the weekend was the best time I've ever had. You've shown me the way and opened a new door for me. I've started over with my life, and I've never been happier. For some reason, they sent me to see some psychologists, and then they sent me to the transformation clinic where I am now. Before they'll let me have surgery to fix my body, I have to go through a 6-month transition. Once the growths are gone, I'll have a beautiful female body, they say. It's all because of you. When I get back from here, I can't wait to see you and thank you for being so kind to me. Allison will always be your good girly friend. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out Patreon for a lot more content and early access to YouTube videos.